Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham HaKadosh. Yahweh is the name of Heavenly Father, meaning He is, He exists, He to be. Ba'en Ha'ada, Sham name. Yahweh Shai, being the only begotten Son, meaning He delivered, He saves, HaKadosh, Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most, and every well, peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom, and above all. Back at it again, when less through the spirit of power, Yahweh by Shemel Shai, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Okay. And as you can see from the title of this article, Prophecy Watch, father of the cell phone, says, one day we'll have devices embedded under our skin. Okay. And that right there, regardless of whether he's alluding to cell phones, all right, or whatnot, this just goes to show you the predictive programming of Esau Edom for his ultimate plan, which his ultimate plan is to get everyone C-hipped. Let's get this quote real quick. This is a quote from Aaron Russo, all right, and he was talking to one of the members of the Rockefeller family. Okay, it says the end goal is to get everyone C-hipped, C-H-I-P-P-E-D. Had to spell it like that, say it like that, due to the algorithms. It says to control the whole society, to have the bankers and the elite people control the world. You see? So that's what it is. Now, segueing back to the article. It says one day phones will become, it's his opinion, right? But the thing about it is, what's not an opinion, what is a fact, is that the RFID CHIP will be implemented in society one day, all right, as the currency. Okay, it says one day phones will become devices integrated into our skin rather than the black rectangular slabs we've become accustomed to, according to the inventor of the cell phone. The next generation will have the phone embedded under the skin of their ears. Marty Cooper, who's credited with inventing the first phone in 1973, told CNBC in an interview at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona on Monday. Such devices won't need to be charged as your body is the perfect charger, Cooper said. When you eat food, your body creates energy, right? You ingest food, your body creates energy. It takes a tiny bit of energy to run this earpiece, he added. His vision hints at a possible future stage of humanity where our bodies are augmented with powerful micro C-hips and sensors. Several startups are developing technologies that seek to combine computers with the human brain. For example, such as Elon Musk Neuralink, right? Okay, and he wanted to do human trials with the Neuralink, but he got denied, they're probably still doing the human trials on the low. All right, they're just telling the public that they got denied so that they seem, like they have morals. But this society is morally corrupt. Okay? It says, Cooper said, the smartphone today has gotten too complex with numerous applications and a screen that doesn't suit the curvature of the human face. Whenever I make a phone call and don't have an earpiece, I have to take this flat piece of material against my curved head and hold my arm up in an awkward position, he said. The smartphone market has stagnated over the last few years, and there's a feeling in the industry that manufacturers are struggling to come up with new, innovative designs. The prevalence of phones today has resulted in a litany of problems, from social media addiction to privacy infringements. Privacy is a very serious problem. Addiction is a problem, Cooper said, in acknowledging the ills of his creation, but he struck an optimistic tone for the future, suggesting the technology's best days may still be ahead of it in fields like education and healthcare. I have an abiding faith in humanity, Cooper said. I look at history and look at all of the advances that we've had with technology, and somehow people have figured it out. Right, and what does that go back to? Daniel 12:4 says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, right? So the scriptures were sealed for a period of time, but Yahushua loosed the seals going back to Revelation, the 5th chapter, when he died on the cross. Now that's why we are able to understand these scriptures and break it down. It says, even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro. All right. You know, you have people traveling back and forth. It says, and knowledge shall be increased. Right. What is the part of that knowledge being increased? The technology. Okay. That's what's been increased. And, you know, just for edification's sake, I want to go into that word technology. It says, technology etymon online, or online etymon. It says technology, a discourse or treatise or on an art or the arts, from Latinized from Greek technologia, systematic treatment of an art, craft, or technique, originally referring to grammar, from techno, combining, from techne, art, skill, craft, and work, method, system, and art, a system or method of making or doing. Okay, craft, of weaving or fabricating, from Semitic, from roots text, to weave, also to fabricate. For ending C, logi, it says logi, kind of like the word theologian, word forming element, meaning a speaking, discourse, treatise. Let's go into this word. Treatise, a written work dealing formally and systematically with the subject. All right, treatise. Okay. It says a speaking discourse, treatise, doctrine, theory, science, from Greek logia, often via French logi, or medieval Latin logia or logia, from log, combining, from legion, to speak, tell. Thus, the character of the deportment of one who speaks or treats of a certain subject. Okay, so just going back to technology. It says the meaning, the studying of mechanical and industrial arts. All right, so ultimately, technology, the word tech goes back to craft or art, and logia goes into it can either mean study, or it can also mean to speak. Okay, you know, so the talk of the arts, the study of the arts, all right, the study of a craft. So knowledge has been increased, technology has been increased, man. Okay, but you know, with that being said, let's go into the definition of the word technology. Technology, the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry, machinery, and equipment developed from the application of scientific knowledge, the branch of knowledge dealing with engineering or applied sciences. That's right. So knowledge has been increased, man. Okay, like we read back in Daniel. And it's going to continue to increase to the point where Esau has everybody C-hipped, but not everyone's going to be C-hipped. The only ones that are going to be C-hipped is the ones that are meant to be C-hipped. You know, those whose names is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Okay? But, you know, you're going to have some 2/3 out there who don't take the C-hip, but a lot of them will. Okay? You're going to have some heathens out there that don't take the C-hip, but a lot of them will. Okay? You know? But the elect, for sure, will not take the C-hip, man. Okay? And if you take the C-hip, the penalty is death, according to the Heavenly Father. Even if Esau allows you to live a little longer, the Heavenly Father is going to put you to death. Revelation 13, starting at verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And that mark goes back to the Greek word charagma, which means, an incision, an etching, a stamp, a badge for the followers of the anti-Messiah, right? And then when you go deeper into the root word of the word charagma, okay, you have the word charax, okay, which means a stake or a palisade, okay, and that's that needle device that you get while you that inserts the C-hip inside of you, okay. And then you have the root word to that word charax, which is grappo, okay, which is that which is the writings, all right. And this is a perfect picture right here, a very edifying picture, okay. So you got the word charagma, which means mark, right? Then you have the word charax, which is the stake or the palisade, and then grappo, going like to the word graph, which means writings. All right, and that's the records that's gonna, that the C-hip is going to obtain. Your driver's license, your passport, your banking information, so on and so forth. Okay, so there's the point on that right there. And it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 That's right, Chi Psi Stigma. All right, 666. Okay. And so that's the point right there, man. And the penalty to that is death. Okay. So they're trying to make things seem like they're trying to do it in the name of convenience and technology advancement and all this extra stuff. But really, it's just the ultimate goal is to brand people like cattle. Okay. This is Revelation 14, starting at verse 9. "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever," meaning what? For a long time. Okay? They're going to burn in the lake of fire for a long time. The lake of fire is the nuclear missiles that's going to hit America. "And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth his mark of his name." That's right, because when you take the C-hip and you insert it inside you, you're going to catch pure hell because of the reaction and the effect that it's going to have upon your body. These human bodies are not built to have mass amounts of radiation flowing through it like the C-hips will have inside of them because of their advancement in technology. That's why they're rolling out so much 5G. Okay, so that the C-hips can, perform at an efficient rate. Okay, and that's why it says in Revelation 16 and verse 2, it says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Right, and that grievous sore is that cancer that they're going to receive in their bodies from the C-hips, man. You thought that the effects were bad of those who took the JAB? Well, guess what? Those who take the CHIP, those effects are going to be just as bad, okay? If not worse, because on top of them dealing with the bodily ailments that come with the radiation poisoning, all right, Esau at any time can just turn their C-hip off, man. And matter of fact, that leads me to another article right here. Ford Motor Company may soon be able to remotely shut down your radio, air conditioning, or lock you out of vehicle if you miss payments. right? Okay. Ford Motor Company has filed for a patent on technology that could remotely shut down your radio or air conditioning, lock you out of your vehicle, or prompt it to ceaselessly beep if you miss car payments. You see? So these devils, they want total control, man. Esau has a God complex. All right. You miss your payments. What's he want to do? He wants to lock you out your car, turn off your air conditioning, shut off your radio, right? And that's why we have to fight the flesh, because of course the flesh wants certain comforts like AC, to be able to hear the radio. But when you're aloof to the needs and the wants of the flesh, of course, with balance, they don't have a pull over you to do little petty stuff like that. Now, granted, of course, nobody wants their car to not have AC or, to be able to listen to music. But, the point is, if you take away the bait that these devils will try to use against you, then that makes you a hard target. You know what I mean? That's why Esau puts, fast food restaurants. He puts liquor stores at every corner in the Jake hoods. Because why? Because he knows Jake is a slave to his vices. So once Jake learns how to control his vices, all right, you give your enemies less opportunity to rule over you. That's why Scripture say, give not your soul the things that please her, lest she make you a laughing stock to your enemies that malign thee. Roughly paraphrasing, man. If you're a slave to your vices, then guess what? Esau will have his way with you, because he can just hold out that bait and you're going to fall for it. And it's like the same thing in these times when he implements the C-HIP. A lot of these people, they're so dependent on the government that when all hell breaks loose, they're not going to know what else to do but to trust Esau and to take the C-HIP. They're going to be running to those C-HIP centers, man, because they don't trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. And a lot of these people don't have the skill to be self-sufficient. All right, they grew up in the inner cities. They grew up in the metropolitan areas. They grew up next to a grocery store, fast food restaurants. They never had to worry about planting, growing crops, all right, filtering out water, and not that stuff is what we put our confidence in, but, Esau doesn't want you to learn those skills so he can make you fully dependent on him and his system. Okay, so when he basically pulls the rug from under these people, a lot of people are going to just run to the C-HIP center so that they can lean upon Egypt again. But that's going to be to their demise, man. That's why you got to trust on Yahweh Shema Shai. The elect, even though, a lot of members of the elect don't know how to farm or, do certain stuff like that either. But guess what? They have the Lord providing for them. And that's what truly matters. If the Lord is providing for you, then you good. But a lot of these people don't believe in the Lord and they don't have the Lord's providence. So they're going to be running to Esau because they trust in Egypt. All right, it says, Ford said it has no plans to use the technology contained in just one of the many patents filed by the automaking giant. Still, it emerges at a troubling time for car owners. Loan delinquencies have been steadily ticking back up from their pandemic low. Cox Automotive data shows severely delinquent auto loans in January hitting their highest point since 2006. According to MSN, the use of technology to aid repossessions isn't new, but the patent application is wide-ranging, even proposing the idea that the autonomous vehicle could drive itself to a more convenient location to be collected by a tow truck. It really seems like you're opening up a can of worms that, as a manufacturer, you don't really need to be doing, said John Von Alst, a senior attorney with the National Consumer Law Center. According to the Ford patent application for repossession-linked technology, cruise control and automated windows could be disabled if a consumer doesn't acknowledge a notice of an overdue car payment. Ford could also shut down key FOBs, doors, door locks, even the accelerator or the engine itself. And you see, this is a big deal, and that's why Esau is going so hard to push electric vehicles. They want to make everything electric. You see, a lot of commercials nowadays are pushing electric vehicles, man. I think Dodge said they're no longer making Chargers and Challengers, that's going to be powered off of gas. They're all going to be electric moving forward. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken. Why is that? Because when you have a car that's electric, that gives the person who controls the remote behind it more control. All right. That's why a lot of these old school cars really are going to come in handy, in the times of Jacob's trouble. But nonetheless, regardless, Yahweh Bashar is going to take care of his elect. So, an elect member could have a Tesla in Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. The Lord's still going to, because the Lord is in control. Like Sure say, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man. So it don't matter really, but Esau is aiming for everything to be more electronic. That's why a lot of more of these cars nowadays, they're pushed to start, because once the EMP hits or Esau gets control of the vehicle, okay, if he could just push a button and turn it off and you can't do nothing about it, that gives him more level of control. Okay, it says disabling such components may cause an additional level of discomfort to a driver and occupants of the vehicle, the patent application states. Wes Sherwood, a spokesman for the Dearborn, Michigan-based automaker, said Ford has no plan to deploy this. Ford was granted more than 1,300 patents in 2022 as a part of encouraging a culture of innovation. The automaker said in an email, "We submit patents on the new inventions as normal course of business, but they aren't necessarily an indication of new business or product plans," Ford said in a statement. Right. It's not in the plans, but yet you still made it. They just say that to pacify the people. Because you got simple-ass people who will read that and be like, yeah, Ford said they got the patent, but, they don't plan on using it. Well, if they don't plan on using it, why'd they even make the patent in the first place, man? Because they considered it, man. And they do plan on using it. They're just trying to pacify you simple ones, man, and make you believe that they don't want to use it. But that's the same exact thing they want to do. Okay? So Esau's going to do that on a greater scale with the C-HIP. You miss your payments with your C-HIP, what are they going to do? They're just going to take it out, deduct it themselves. Or they could just turn your C-HIP off, man. If you get out of line, turn your C-HIP off. Esau has a God complex. He wants all control. He wants all the power. Okay? He thinks he's the Most High. So by him, with his technology, these are his miracles on the left-hand side. This is a part of his witchcraft. All right, technology goes back to the word craft. So Esau's technology is a part of his witchcraft. And that's why it says in Revelation 18th chapter, that no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be is going to be found in Babylon. Revelation 18, starting at verse 21, and that mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, which refers to the missiles, and cast into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all." Right, this place is going to be destroyed with violence. The laser beams from the chariots and the nuclear missiles. It says, "And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee." Right, so Babylon ain't going to be playing all musicals and, drill music and all the extra stuff. You ain't going to hear that anymore when the missiles hit, man. It says, "And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee." Right. No more working in this place. No more crafts. No more technology. It says, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee." Right. Okay. So ain't going to be no more marriages going on in Babylon. And, sex is marriage. So put the two and two together. Okay. Ain't gonna be no more harlots. Ain't gonna be no more OnlyFans. All right. No filth, like the elder Zahab be saying through the spirit. No more filth videos. Okay. No more men and women getting married to each other in this place. And the motherfucking genders, so-called genders, but I don't even want to speak on that shit. Guess what? All that shit's going to be burnt up, man, when this place gets destroyed. It says, For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And that's Babylon the Great. Okay? Sorceries, man. And part of their sorceries is technology. That's a part of their miracles on the left-hand side. It says, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. That's right. Because this place is drunken with the blood of the saints. All right, it says, the patent is concerning because by creating this technology, lenders with less than stellar reputations for repositions could possibly take advantage of it. NCLC's Van Alst said, you've now created this device, which is like the doomsday device in Doctor Strangelove, he said. All right, so that's the point. You know, so I just want to wrap it up with that. Abu Razaz, listen, was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash, the honors to the apostles, all those great Muslims that were well, peace and blessings to elect Israel. Shalom and above all.